Hey guys, Callence here, and today we are back with a brand new video where today we are going to be going over middle school stories, or in general doing exactly what I did in my high school rant video, which if you guys don't already know, I think it did pretty well in terms of views. I mean, call me crazy, but that's a decent amount of views to me personally. So as a result, I'm gonna milk this cow dry and talk about my middle school experience while simultaneously starting to talk about the start of this channel, because I haven't actually really done a video about that. Therefore, and it was being asked for in the comments of my high school video, so I decided to say fuck it all. We're gonna kill two birds with one stone today and take a look at the two topics. But of course, let's talk about how I started my YouTube channel first, because, well, why the fuck not? So I started my YouTube channel back in 2014, a little bit before middle school, and by me starting my channel, I actually mean my older brother Hango started it for me, because, I wasn't 13 back in 2014. If you do the math, I'm 18 now. Back in 2014, I would have only been, 12 years old at most, and, considering my birthday is June 8th, and the channel was made on March 7th, I think. I can't remember. But, yeah, doing the math, March, June, I would have actually been only 11 at the time. So, yeah, I couldn't start this YouTube channel on my own. My older brother, Hango, started it for me. And from there, he allowed me to post to this channel. Now, the way I got inspiration to make content on this channel was mainly through a bunch of gaming YouTubers back in 2014, all those Minecraft pedophiles, all those Minecraft YouTubers, and essentially I got, I got a little bit of interest peaked from them, and that's why my very first video is a Minecraft video. It's still available to watch publicly if you guys want to watch. And from there, I started taking an interest in Call of Duty Zombies and Call of Duty Zombies YouTubers, and therefore the cycle continued, and I started doing those kinds of things, and, I just rolled with it. For like the first year and a half of this YouTube channel existing, I was purely gaming. In fact, actually, now I think about it, that was for the first, 3 years of this channel's existence. However, going back to the Hango story, essentially, when it came to this channel, he gave it to me, and then, coincidentally, on my 13th birthday, he was arm wrestling with a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear lost, and it got really mad, and then it beat up my brother, Hango, and killed him, and then, in his will and testament, he said that I could become the rightful owner of this channel. So on my 13th birthday, I was granted access to this channel, and from there on, I know it's a massive coincidence, but believe me, I would never break any of YouTube's rules. I would never lie about my age to YouTube. Susan, if you're listening to me right now, I never would lie to you. You are an amazing CEO, Susan. By golly, I am just I would never lie. But yeah, he passed away because the grizzly bear got mad at him. But don't worry, the grizzly bear did say his apologies. He did come to the funeral, and he said he spoke at my older brother's funeral. He said that he was sorry for murdering my brother in cold blood, and we all forgave him. And I got the YouTube channel, so GG, sorry Hango, may you rest in peace, my friend. Anyways, though, shitty jokes aside, yeah. I've been posting this channel since 2014, and I was inspired by Minecraft pedophile YouTubers, and a story. Let's start talking about middle school shit. Now, entering middle school was a kind of different experience, because obviously up until then, all in throughout elementary school, we usually just had one, maybe two teachers at most, but for the most part, we had one teacher we'd report to throughout the day, and they would teach us all the subjects. English, science, math, what else subjects are history, Revolutionary War, Civil War kind of shit. Essentially, up until middle school, it really was just one teacher teaching a bunch of students the subjects. But, in middle school, that's when you start having certain periods. You have a math teacher, you have a science teacher, you have a history teacher, you have an English teacher, unless you live in Spain, and therefore I'm assuming you'd have a Spanish teacher. Point is though, we had a bunch of periods, and I mean, I adjusted to it pretty quickly, but essentially we have an actual homeroom teacher. However, our homeroom teacher was also a teacher for a different subject that we'd have, and for 7th grade, my homeroom teacher was also my science teacher, you know. And for 7th grade, I actually did not do too well. In terms of grades and everything, I am not proud of what I had accomplished that year. And part of it's on me, but part of it's also on the way that our shitty school system works. Essentially, you know, of course, as per usual, we're given the A, B, C, D, and F grades, you know. So my first period to start off the day, aside from homeroom, was math class, and we learned how to make crystal meth. I'm just kidding, it was actually about learning mathematics and stuff. I mean, I can't exactly remember what mathematics I learned back in 7th grade. I think I learned a little bit of slope and all that kind of shit towards the end, but that's about as far as I can remember. This was, mind you, this was like fucking almost 7 years ago, dude. Almost 7 fucking years ago I learned this shit. So, yeah, that shit went through me faster than an ounce of cocaine. That wasn't even funny, but point is, yeah, math class was pretty annoying because not only did we have the normal quizzes and shit, which, you know, if we basically aced everything in the class, we did all the quizzes, we did all the homework, we aced it, we'd only get 70% because we also need to take this online learning thing, which accumulated about 30% of our grade. And you do the math, 70% versus 30%, 70% is still a C, and that's with passing everything else. So, yeah, if you do the math, it turns out that you actually had to do this online learning thing. But the problem was that the online learning thing was fucking AIDS, bro. Now, the best way to think of this website is to think of it as a Khan Academy, except if Khan Academy was run by pedophiles, and if the website within of itself only had a budget of like $12 a month. And I say pedophiles because these people on the website, you know, these professors, these fucking people with meth degrees, you know, these fucking retards out here, you know, are acting like a bunch of children, you know, going like, "Howdy ho! Welcome, children! I have a problem. My boat has half tank of gas, yet I need to fill it up to a full tank. Now, my gas tank in this boat that I need to sail the 7 seas to capture Jack Sparrow the pirate requires 20,000 gallons of fuel. If it's only half filled, how much gallons of fuel is in the tank, kids? Please answer me now. Make sure you write in your notebooks. Now, while you do that, I'm going to be off to save the world with my boat that has half full tank. Yee doggy! Yee doggy! This shit was torturous. Watching this shit was fucking mentally scarring, dude. It was like so goddamn cringy. And these people, they were using green screens. And you know what? To give them credit, the green screens weren't awful. However, you could tell it was a green screen, and all the quote-unquote CGI, or whatever you would call it, looked absolutely balls to the walls horrifying. So yeah, I didn't fucking do these assignments until like the end, like during like 4th term, or 3rd term, 4th term. So yeah, up until like 3rd or 4th term, I wouldn't even touch the website. I might do like a lesson here or there in class. However, in terms of doing it at home, that was a no-go. I was not about to do that until my dad started yelling at me and telling me I had to get it done because he slipped his little fingers into the gradebook website and he was able to be notified every time I missed an assignment. So I had to do that. However, up until that point, I would avoid it at all costs. And the videos weren't even the worst aspect of this shitty website either. What made it so awful was the fact that you had to sit through those videos, and then after that you had to take a bunch of independent work and practice work, and then the final quiz. And if you fail the quiz, you have to go all the way back to the start and do everything all over again. Which is more likely than not. I mean, even if you paid close attention, sometimes you could just fuck up. Or even if you're like me and you just don't really pay attention to the fucking videos, you might mess up. You'll definitely mess up, should I say. Ho ho, doggy. we're getting into third period, and for me personally, my third period class was English, and I say this so many goddamn times in these videos, but despite the fact that I've grown up in an English-speaking country, or mostly English-speaking country, my apologies. Not only have I grown up in a mostly English-speaking country, not only has my family been pretty much completely English-speaking, except for like a few great-great-grandparents who spoke either Japanese or whatever, but aside from all of that, English has been, my weakest subject out of, my entire history of my existence. I mean, it's not the spelling, it's mostly just the essays that really get to me. Theories about books or writing a thesis statement, and it's like, what the fuck? When am I ever gonna need to write a fucking thesis statement for anything? Like, in the real world, just when? Honestly, I've never really liked English at all, except for maybe some classes in high school where I had nice teachers or teachers that were really rather brilliant that helped me out. However, in terms of middle school, my god, this might damn well be the worst teacher I've ever fucking had, dude. Now, I can't exactly remember this teacher's name, but even if I could, I wouldn't release that information. I'm not that much of a dickhole. So, let's give her a fake name, and let's call her Mrs. Fatburger, because she was kind of chubby. Okay, I'm a massive dickhole still, but point is, let's call her Mrs. Fatburger. So Mrs. Fatburger, my 7th grade English teacher, was so horrible. I never ever wanted to go to her classes, and every time I had to, I dreaded it completely. Now, it wasn't because she was exactly mean. I mean, she could be mean, but it was mostly because I just really didn't like doing the work in the classroom. An example of this would be reading logs, because apparently, even in middle school, they want you to do reading logs like fucking kindergartners. So we had to fill out a reading log, and I think we had to read 6 or 7 hours a week. So because I have to get this off my chest, because I actually have a conscience, not really, no, I don't have a conscience whatsoever, I'm an evil devil. Point is, I have to get this off my chest, okay? I have to get it off. I lied on those fucking reading logs. I would say I read this book, yet I actually didn't. And in first term, I got a C in this class, which it says a lot about the class as well as myself, but also a lot about the class when you think about it, because if you are basically close to failing in the first term of your class, either you're a dipshit moron who doesn't pay attention, which very well could be me, but it could also mean that the teacher isn't teaching the subject properly. Or if you're in my case, it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, I definitely have to take some blame. I probably wasn't paying the most amount of attention, and me being in my prime status of being antisocial, I was not about to go up to my teacher and be like, Mrs. Fatburger, how do you do the assignment you just assigned us to? So yeah, I mean, come on, dude. I was not about to do that, and definitely partially my fault, but also the fact that the subject she taught us I don't know, I feel like it's just the way she taught us how to do things wasn't as effective as other teachers that would follow. And quite frankly, I just really did not like the class, and by the time second term came around, I was legitimately failing the class. I mean, yes, a 7th grade English level course, I came this close to failing. Congratulations, Callence. Congratulations. You're a retard, Callence. So let's move on to my 5th period, which was fucking PE/computer stuff, So PE, I got a B in it because I exercise well. I pump iron really good, but unfortunately I don't do paperwork good enough, so I still got a B. For my computer class, I got a C in it. It was a cinematography kind of class, filmography. I don't know how words work, but essentially we were filming shit. And that was cool. I love filming, except my group that I was working with spent too much goddamn time taking selfies and not enough time actually doing the work, so I nearly failed. Now moving on to 8th grade. 8th grade, my homeroom teacher was the teacher that was in charge of the media classes. So that's cool, the computer stuff I mentioned earlier. He was specifically in charge of making websites and shit, web design, which was really cool. And in homeroom, we got to make our own Google sites, and Google sites really fucking sucks. Like, god damn, I cannot tell you how much Google sites suck. I think nowadays it's a little bit better, but still, I mean, shit, dude. That's why you should make a website with our best friend and our sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. And that's just a joke. That was a fucking joke. I'm not sponsored. Do you really think anyone would pay money to be sponsored by this dipshit right here? I don't think so. I just wanted to make a joke. But point is, yes, Google Sites was terrible, but I still managed to do well in homeroom. I got an A, I think. Yay. Now, in terms of stories that happened back in middle school, there were a few that I've already told on this channel. Back in PE, during 7th grade, I was walking outside and ended up getting stung by a bee. It literally flew into my lip, stung me like right here, and then died, obviously, because that's how bees work. Which is kind of funny because back in 12th grade, I was biking to school. I think it was biking back to band practice after getting some food at a local 7-Eleven. A bee flew into my forehead and stung me. So this happened to me twice. I got stung by a bee twice. Once in the forehead and once in the chin. And it's all because they flew into me. Not because I fucking threw a rock at a beehive and pissed them off. No. Because they fucking flew into me. So I find it to be kind of funny. But point is, that was not very fun. Another time, I ended up not doing my homework for my English class in 7th grade, and my English teacher forced me to stay after class till I think almost 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. And that was not very good, and especially not good because that day class ended at 3, so I had to stay in class till for at least an hour. So I'm thinking I got out by 4, but still, I had to wait my ass for about an hour solely because I didn't do my homework, which is just retarded. I wish teachers were more like college professors where they're like, you know what, if you don't do your homework, we're just going to dock your grade, and that's that, If you don't do your homework, we dock your grade without warning. I think that's a much better approach at it, honestly speaking, because, why the fuck are you going to be like, come here, little Jimmy, come here, let me grab your ear, little Jimmy, okay, little Jimmy, you didn't do your homework, so you're going to have to do 10 push-ups, come on, after you do that, you're going to have to turn in your homework, little Jimmy. Now, obviously, the push-ups part was a joke, but seriously, we were forced to sit in class and, finish up our homework in class and turn it in instead of just docking our grade like a normal teacher, which was really retarded, in my personal opinion. Now, another story involves my friend and not me. I'm not going to name my friend, but, I'll tag him on Instagram with this video, but essentially, my friend of mine, he had this teacher, and he was supposed to do this, accelerated reading thing, I think that's what it's called, which is basically you read a book, and then you take a quiz on it, and he had this English teacher of mine for homeroom. And essentially, my teacher accused him of cheating. Now, he told me this story 4 years ago, so I cannot for the love of God remember all the details, but essentially, he had a specific way of doing the test, which was not cheating at all. 100% it was not cheating. From what I remember, it was essentially just his way of doing it, which made it easier for him to do. And the kid is he's a fucking genius, dude. He's going to MIT, so, motherfucker, this dude is a goddamn genius, so do not judge him in any way, shape, or form. But essentially, he was doing it in a specific way, and the teacher, my fucking shitty ass fucking English teacher, caught him, and was she accused him of cheating, so she dragged him and his parents down to the vice principal or the principal's office, and they were talking about it for a couple of hours until it was confirmed that he wasn't fucking cheating, it was just his way of doing the work, and essentially she was proven to be a fucking moron in front of the principal. So it was safe to say that she didn't really like him. And with that being said, though, this video is about over. My camera battery is about to die. I have maybe a couple minutes to say a few things. So of course, as always, social media links are in the description down below. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, StoryTime, BitChute, the drill already. Subscribe if you are new, click the bell notifications if you haven't already, and make sure to like the video and share it if you can. That being said, though, I hope you guys did enjoy. Goodbye and farewell.